Going to be a fun one. OpTic, Envy, a best of 5 here, and like he said, a benchmark to see where these two teams are. Kicking it off with the king, Scump.
Yeah, Scump has a lot of help now. You know, he felt like Crim6 running that submachine gun with him just helps out their pacing so much, and off to a solid start. TJ, you're joining the wrong game. He leaves it. I was like, wait a second.
I saw that pop up.
Someone left. I was like, oh no, we're going to have a restart.
I thought the same thing.
TJ's trying to watch.
Tries to hop in, but quickly gets out of it. A couple kills do go the way of Temp, but all the points thus far have gone to OpTic Gaming. They're spawning out top right, trying to wrap back in. Envy finally going to hop into the hard point. Temp's picked up 3 kills in a row. We'll see if he starts to maybe build towards any kind of streaks. Slasher is trying to maintain waterside.
Yeah, he put some great shots into 2 players of OpTic Gaming, but he gets taken down. Scump winning a big one-on-one. Just 17 seconds left. Temp, though, already off to a solid start. He's 5-2. He's picking up time. And Envy, they're controlling Main Street. You can already see where Slasher is. This is a position he wants to be in. He has help from Classic as well.
This is going to be difficult for them to try and push out a call when you have Slasher just pre-aiming this. And you have Classic up close and personal. 2 easy ones for him. Slasher was able to tag. And I've talked about Envy. They've at times been a very, very good Main Street team. I've seen them lock this down for a full 60 time and time again. But the last 2 weeks of Division B, we just didn't see the success from them.
Yeah, every time we watch this map, you always talked about Envy and Main Street. And this is the setup they want. They want to spawn in Coal Room where you're seeing it right now. They have a couple of guys on the hill. OpTic, all 4 players here. Crim finding the first one. Nades back and forth. There comes Hook. He's able to find 2, make it 3. Can he find the 4th? Nice shots on the Formal, but Formal's able to find 2 on Slasher.
And those are big kills from Formal, and that's what you need to be. If you're going to be the AR, you're going to be that last guy up. So you either need to stay alive and hold, or get enough kills that you allow your subs to get back off spawn and get back into it. Plays like that can be huge, but ultimately it's going to lead to Envy getting back in, and this has been a great Main Street for them.
Yeah, it definitely has. With 20 seconds left, OpTic Gaming, they're going to rotate towards these lower docks. Lower docks is a hill. We talk about it from time and time again. If you watch the Pro League, this is one where you can earn a lot of time. So OpTic, don't stress out. Just get a nice setup in, and this is where the kills are going to be so important.
Formal and Karma opening things up. We'll go to Formal now with the STG inside. He's got Crim watching one side, so he's going to wrap back and check Crane. So far, so good. 10 seconds into this, all the points going to OpTic Gaming. Crim's going to be pushing all the way out into barrels. Just trying to see if maybe he can find him roaming top mid or flanking from the backside. He needs to get involved in the action though as Formal drops, and there he is. Crim soaring around the map with the sub. That's what you love to see. Him being a playmaker, getting forward, taking gunfights and winning them. But Hook, nice shots there in the window to take off his head.
Yeah, you can see what Envy was trying to do. They were trying to get fire control and barrel building and pinch that from both the sides. Crim6 finds a very solid timing in that barrel building where he goes up the stairs, buys just enough time to get that flank. OpTic Gaming, they're going to get these final 18 seconds, some big gunfights going down in the back of barrel. You can see what Team EnVyUs is trying to do. As we head over towards this barrel building, they're trying to get control of the back.
Yeah, this is a map where, yes, AR is important, but typically it's your subs that are going to go off, and you're seeing that right now. I mean, the 3 subs leading the way. A Formal, you know, he's 8-7, having an all right game. Slasher struggling at 3-7, but mostly it's been the subs, and that's what you're going to get on this map. Fast pace, flying. But now OpTic has been able to crack in the front of the barrel building. We'll see if they can make any time come in. As soon as I say that, though, Scump gets dropped.
Yeah, some nice shots coming in from Classic and Hook, but Formal, he's able to follow that up with 2. Karma now, he's starting to contest, and this is fine, but here comes Hook. They need to get to the front of the hill, though. They have to challenge that last guy. It's Scump. He does get taken down, and now they can push out a little bit, and this is where Team EnVyUs starts to earn some time on barrel building.
And I love this. Classic just starting to push in and disrupt what he can here around top mid and towards Crane. He gets challenged, though, in fire, so several kills now going the way of OpTic Gaming. But they had to deal with Classic first to get to this position. They're trying to take one more crack at it, not a ton of time on it. And look at that deep spawn out. That's going to be Hoop that spawns all the way in the back. 2 more players spawn useless. So you're going to get the final 12 or so seconds here, but an opportunity for Envy to maybe get set up at Crane.
Yeah, but I mean, OpTic, they have water control, so that is the one positive for them as we go on to this rotation. That's Formal, but Formal gets taken down. So now you're in a little bit of a dangerous position. You see what OpTic's trying to do. Scump and Crim, they're trying to get fire control. Get those PPSHs in there, and there we go. There's that new duo with those submachine guns finding themselves too. Slasher's still alive in the back. He finds a couple of kills. So back and forth action here at Crane.
We'll see how much time Envy can put on. Are they going to be able to take the lead? Still trailing by 4. Haven't been able to take it over. OpTic now trying to get near the hard point. Classic doing what he can to disrupt here at the water steps. Comes in from the back, finds a second kill. He's getting very close to streaks now. 460 to 625 to see if he can pick him up. Nades, though, soaring in. Not the position you want to be in when you're trying to work for streaks, but he has happened to be the one soaking up the time.
And it felt like these past 2 hills, Crane and Barrel, both these teams just struggling to get control. It's just back and forth battles. you know, a couple of seconds earned here, a couple of seconds earned there, but for the most part, both these teams just nading well, contesting for a good amount of time. It's a very low-scoring game in that first half. Nice shots right there from Formal. He's 15 and 10, trying to find Classic on the hill, but we're going to go to a reset and head back to Statue.
Yeah, I think when I first started talking about it, he was, what, like 8 and 7, 8 and 8. He's really started to erupt since then. The Slaying Edge, I mean, outside of Karma, really starting to go towards OpTic Gaming, but haven't pushed out to too much of a lead here yet. But now let's take a look at our second set. Statue control, going to go to OpTic.
Yeah, they're starting to get a couple of kills their way. Hook, though, it just, again, it feels like as soon as one team gets control, there's a 2 or 3 piece that happens on the map that just allows that team to at least get some contests. Again, not much of a lead, only 15 seconds for OpTic. Slasher, he's having a bit of a slow game. You don't see that all the time. Imagine he's going to turn it around here soon.
You would think about it, and we've seen a couple of our consistent guys have kind of off games. You know, you saw Rated, you saw Arcides, now Slasher just a little bit off. We'll see if these ARs can start to turn it around a little bit, because these subs applying so much pressure, especially on a map like this. But with 10 seconds remaining now at Statue, you can see Envy. This is the same position we saw Slasher in last time when they were getting set up for Main Street. Inside the lights, trying to make sure it's not easy to get out of call. Formal's never going to be able to take that gunfight from the off position. Slasher's just being a pain. 2 will get cut down. The trade should be there, but no, Scump, screw the trade. Scump gets all 3, and that might be a great way to start breaking in here. There's still going to be one guy to deal with in the back. He wants it, tries to hunt for it, but Hook's 2-piece at least slows down the tide there for a moment. Yeah,
now you have Hook. He just spawns up. A very close spawn for Envy. Nobody in the hill. Once again, a 13-point lead for Team EnVyUs. Nice shots right there out of Classic. Temp, he spawns up. He's going to try and hit a bit of a pinch through that gate alleyway. Is he going to find the correct timing? No. Doesn't look like it. Scump and Formal are here. Control over to them. One player left. That's Slasher. He's a little bit weak. Karma's able to clean him up, and they finally have Main Street control.
And they should be able to, well, I was going to say, get these final 20 seconds, but as that nade comes in, that's going to allow Crim6 to try and re-challenge again just to make sure they don't get in. But yeah, this is, I mean, there's a lot of time off the clock. All these hard points have been pretty contested. We haven't seen anything that close to a perfect hold. Maybe
just the Main Street from Envy in the lower docks. Those were the first couple of hills that we saw, but after that, it's just been so back and forth. As you said, we have 2 minutes left in this game on the game clock.
Well, it's because you have players like, you know, Scump on one side and a guy like Temper Hook on the other side that sometimes those situations where they are the one guy versus 2 or 3, they make that play. And when you have guys capable of that, it makes it a little scrappier than it should be at times.
Definitely does. Slasher with some nice shots on the Scump. Scump was heating up, having a solid game himself, 27 and 23. On the other side, you have Hook at 28 and 22. So those 2 players, oh my gosh, nice shots right there. Formal almost cleans them up.
Yeah, a lot of those through the wall, I guess, for his POV.
Well, there's Scump.
Gets the assist, but ultimately Temp will take him down. We got just under 30 seconds remaining here. It looks like we're going to have yet another lead change. This one now back to OpTic Gaming as they're in control. Hook trying to hit the backside, but Krim able to clean that up. 3 on the kill feed now for OpTic Gaming. Couple kills in a row for Karma and Crim6, and now they're going to try and fight for the backside of Barrel.
Yeah, we saw this last time. Almost the same situation where EnVyUs goes all the way through Cole, and they try to win those initial gunfights. They were able to do so, and looks like they're able to do so again. Temp, he's able to find 3. All of OpTic trying to go through the front, but Slasher in a great position. He's in fire, just putting so much pressure on the middle of the map, gives them control of barrel building. Karma just trying to buy time for his teammates as they push through gate. But look at those Team EnVyUs players. They're trying to get pushed out towards Statue.
2-man hit now, coming in the back. Slasher should be a nice hit.
Look at that response as well from Temp.
So quick to make sure the assistance is over. So far, a great barrel hold, and now another lead change for Envy. It seems like we've already had 10 lead changes throughout the course of this game. Busting right back on through is going to be OpTic Formal. I thought he was going to need the nade there, no, but just a bit of a scuff jump there and able to gun him.
Yep, there we go, though. 2 players from OpTic to go down, and there's the pressure once again. Classic, he gets in there. OpTic do have the back spawns, but not what you want with 15 seconds left. You have 1 player in Formal who spawns out towards Useless. Never mind, make it all of them.
Yeah, you almost want to die at this point. Just die and get set up for Crane, right? So now they'll have all 4 players up, ready to get in key positions here for the next hard point. 2 players hitting through water side. We'll make it 3. 2 in docks and 1 right below steps here for Karma. Slasher's just going to work his way up. Karma, though, I think hears him, sniffs him out, and he's able to pick up the kill. 3 on the kill feed now for OpTic Gaming. The first push is hell, but they haven't been able to spawn them out, towards Cole, get them off this water side, so they should still be able to flood this.
Yeah, you can see what Scump and Krim are trying to do, though. They're trying to get pushed out of fire and get towards Statue. Krim able to find the second. Nice little hip fire right there. Can he find the third? Temp's there with the trade, but Temp's all alone. So there we go. Finally some time towards OpTic. Another lead change comes in. That's what's so hard. Those nades come in, right? When you spawn lower water, they just allow such easy access for those grenades.
And I don't think we've had any streaks in this one yet.
We really haven't.
Karma I was about to say Karma's gonna be very close. He was probably 1 kill off it before he ended up dropping there. 11-point advantage for OpTic Gaming. No one able to get any kind of separation in this one. And I mean, it shouldn't be too surprising. I mean, this is a very fast, slay-heavy map. You have two of the best teams when it comes to raw talent and slaying, so I guess you shouldn't be shocked it's this back and forth, and goes to show why I didn't feel too confident about who to pick in this series, man. They're going just back and forth. It's been an incredible battle thus far.
Yeah, we're going to head over to the next set of hills. Statue, Temp, he gets on it, but nice shots out of Karma, finds an STG on the floor. He's 32 and 30. Love to see that. A very solid game from everyone on OpTic. Finally, a bit of separation, 16, 17 points as they start to earn some time.
And they're only, I mean, the slaying differential is like 7 to OpTic. Like, it's still very, very close. Streaks for the first time. There they are for Krem6 as he's beaming with the PPSH. So now he'll have some added utility here for the OpTic Gaming side to try and close this game out. They're also opening up what is close to their biggest lead. 30-plus points right now, but as you speak of streaks on one side, Slasher probably comes a bullet or two short there from picking up some streaks for EnVy.
Yeah, he spotted Formal as well. He saw the tip of his head, right, as he was coming up those stairs, saw him in that position, gets the one guy on the hill and knows Formal's going to try and trade it right away. He tries to prone, but he doesn't get down. So EnVy, they're going to pick up this scrap time. They'll be at about 199. It's going to be a 9-point difference as we go to Main Street. But as you said, Krem6, he has streaks. You imagine he invests 1 or 2 here if EnVy do get control.
For now, this will be the first time where it's kind of OpTic set up with early control. Well, they haven't been able to get in the hard point yet, but they're in better position than they have. I mean, you relied on a 3-piece from Scump to even fight
like
for it last time.
Yeah, he's going to call in that glide bomb first. Able to find one on the Slasher. That may turn the tide for them, but the EnVy players just push up. Huto, he's going to get flanked by Karma. Karma able to find one. Can he find the second? No, Krem6 can, but this allows them to sort of reset.
The reset, they have one hitting through mid. The mid player, which is going to be Scump, should be able to get a kill or two. He's already picked up one. Formal's actually looking over him. This is not what you want to deal with. Scump in your mid cut and a Formal looking over with an AR. Now 30 points needed here for OpTic. There's only 53 seconds on the play clock, so it could come into effect, especially if this next hard point ends up being like hotly contested.
Yeah, I love that play from Krem6. He recognized the time on the hill. He knows there's 12 seconds left. He rotates through barrel. He's able to find Hook. Hook's going to spawn out. A couple of players from EnVy do spawn out. Krim, though, just trying to buy time for his teammates. No Classic's going to come up off spawn. I love this play. This is the difference maker with Krim running one of those faster subs.
It's happening to hell
goes Karma and Formal's way. Here comes that last push. One player left. That's Slasher. Krem6 on a 6 spree, and well, that should be the game for OpTic Gaming.
It should be it. 5 ticks away. OpTic Gaming strike first behind a monster performance from Krem6. They are clicking. The role change looks like it's working very well, but don't be confused. That was a very close game to like the final moments, really.
Yeah, it was just so back and forth. I mean, you and I just kept talking about it, how many lead changes we had. A bunch of the hills were just so contested. Teams really couldn't get on that hill. They couldn't have control, and it was a great back and forth game, but as soon as those streaks come in from Krem6, they're finally able to put it away.
Well, we did have some incredible moments throughout that. I do want to take a look at our scuff play of the game for Map 1 London Docks between OpTic and EnVy. Excited to see what this one's going to be. It's got to be the Scum 3-piece, right?
That's got to be, right? Nice little pre-fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, Krim had a couple amazing plays too with the PPSH, but you gotta say, man, he's looking very comfortable in that role. Any big takeaways maybe for Karma now in the flex role?
I mean, he just had a solid game. I mean, on London Docks, he was still running a 3rd sub, right? I mean, he was picking up an SCG a little bit, but here's that scuff play of the game. Yeah, Scump, the nice pre-fire on the Classic, able to find 3. That just allowed them to gain a little bit of momentum in this map number 1.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing, if he doesn't get those kills, you're probably EnVy with a close to perfect setup. You've got 4 people ready and waiting. Slasher still sitting inside. Like, if Slasher wins that first gunfight, they're set up and looking towards another one. They probably get 40 or so seconds on the first Main Street. It probably goes that way again, but the skill of Stump able to make the play and burst on through.
Yeah, it definitely was. But yeah, as we were talking about, I mean, the flex role for Karma, where it's going to come into play, I think he is Search and Destroy, right? He's going to have an AR. And then some of the bigger maps. You may not see it as much on Valkyrie and London Docks. He's ran a sub on that. But you can tell just sort of the pacing difference, I think, sort of Krem6. I think sort of that change, what it did was Krim just sort of realizes how quick that he has to play, tries to help you know, support Scump for as much as possible.
And that's why I think the role change makes sense. Like, there's a reason Formal has been one of the best ARs since he started competing. He is, I don't want to say he is a smart player, but in some ways he is a greedy player too. Like he values his life. He values his life more than most people. And like when you are a main AR, you need to sometimes play selfish. Like that is your role. You want to be the last guy alive. You need to be the last line of defense. And sometimes I felt like Krim in the AR role, he was like, he was hungry for kills. Like, he was almost hunting too much sometimes, and now I feel like you're letting him loose with a sub, and he's just going around frying people. That's a win-win, I think.
And I think what was sort of the mindset for Crim6 running an AR in the beginning of World War II with boots on the ground was rotations, how important it was to have an anchor. But then as the game evolved, we realized, especially on maps like London Docks or St. Marie du Mont, where the sight lines for ARs actually favor you in the hill. That changes things a little bit. You know, you're not fighting those rotations as much. It puts guys like who are running the flex roll like it was Formal in those sort of positions. So now you have Crim6 doing that. You have Formal on the hill having nice shots, looking over Scump on that main street. It's just the evolution of the game.
That was a really good sign of it. Like, when you took a look at it, that one angle where you saw Seth kind of hitting through mid cut and Formal was looking over from main street, like that just looked like impossible to almost get through. Like, they were just dominating. But guys, I believe we are, I think, waiting on one player to get back to the station so we can start the next map. I think we have the option to hop in to one of the other pools here to check out the action. I'm down to go wherever. I'll tell you what, production team, you can take me to whatever match that we have live, and we'll check it out, assuming that there is one going on. Okay, I take it back. We're waiting on our one player to get back, and then we're going to hop into the map too. So we're sticking here. You're going to get a nice shot of bottles of water and the OpTic Gaming players. Now over to stage. Stage looks beautiful. Trophy looks beautiful. I've never won a trophy.
Not once, ever?
Maybe like soccer when I was a little kid. Oh, boy, it's here. It's football. That was horrible.
It was.
I'm sorry. I'm just glad people didn't boo me. But
they love you, Maven.
I love you too, Joe. Search, though, for these two teams. Where was...
I believe it's the London Docks again.
Well, it was St. Marie and Docks for the two searches. I wasn't sure what map 2 was. I couldn't remember.
I believe it is Docks once again. I believe that was EnVyUs pick, and then Game 5 will be St. Marie.
Okay. Well, thinking search just for these two squads. You know, not talking too much about the previous matches. I know you and I think we're casting during them. We didn't get to watch them too much, but just maybe from their divisions, right? From Division B, from Division A.
This is one of EnVyUs. I think this is one of EnVyUs' better search and destroy maps. It is their go-to pick, so you have to give the advantage to them. Again, those map vetoes, they changed the series quite a bit, so you have to give that map pick. That first game, number 1, you know, that's what OpTic wanted to play. They win that map, so it looks like game number 2 is starting. The map is just loading up. But yeah, London Docks search and destroy. This is one you definitely don't want to go down 0-2 to OpTic, but you know, everyone's been saying it. A lot of the OpTic guys have been talking about if they win games 2 and 5, they feel if they win their respawns, win just one search in a series, they feel they should win this tournament. And that's sort of what it's always been about with OpTic.
Well, I think Krim talked about the fact that he thinks right now, in this particular game, just due to the nature of it, search is your most consistent game mode. I mean, he talked about, I believe, in one of the video pieces during the league. That's where they think they can most consistently find wins. Like, if you are a good search team, that is where you'll find the most success. But yeah, we've got, I think, 25 seconds on the clock, and we'll hop right into this search and destroy. We'll see if EnVy can answer back or if OpTic can get a firm control in this series.
I would love to ask Krim that question in like 6 weeks as this role change develops. He's like, hardpoint's the go-to, you know, it's the most consistent, you know, because he's running that sub now.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Neither would I.
All right, well, it looks like it's going to be EnVy on offense first to kick things off. We'll get right into the action. We're going to actually start on the defensive side of things. We're on with Crim6. He was magnificent in that game 1 with the SMG. They don't have a lot of a presence over towards that A site right now. It's really just going to be Formal. So an opening here for EnVy and company to get in. They also find the first pick.
I say, where did Slasher find that first blood even at? I'm not even sure. Maybe towards top middle.
Top mid.
Yeah, it had to have been towards top middle. So that's a great sign for EnVy. They do have full control. Karma, he does get spotted. Nice shots out of Classic, but he just backs down. Doesn't want to give anything up. There's one player that's Formal lower Docks, but that timing goes the way of who Scump's there. Now that starts the trades.
Classic should have a freebie here. It's now all going to be on Scump. Can he hunt this kill in the back? He's been spotted. Has a sub up close, though. 1 versus 1. It's going to be on Temp. Temp is able to win the gunfight, and EnVy will strike first.
Was Slasher going for a bayonet, or the Classic, I mean?
He may have been.
He was just sprinting at him.
might have been the case, yeah.
I was like, oh no, this could be bad, because I saw Temp was top middle.
And if he just stopped for a second through the window, I think he probably could have shot him in the legs.
I was just so confused. So that was a bit of a scary situation, but a solid round number 1 from EnVy, and really that just starts with Slasher being able to find Crim6. I imagine Krim sort of mantled those top boxes. You know, that's been a more popular spot to see the cross down low, and Slasher was able to find him.
Well, you can hop on that top box down by the docks too and get a really, really nice angle on that, but Scump has a nice round. with 3 kills, but they aren't able to get the victory, and they are pushing out the back very, very quickly. They just want to hit it together, and the hit pays off. There are a couple players stacked up in mid-map who might be able to get an angle, but they don't because of the smoke.
Yeah, Slasher was trying to do his best to stay alive. Formal able to find Hook. Temp and Classic, nice shots right there out of Karma. Melts Classic. Temp now left in a 1 versus 2, but Scump's on the flank gonna clean him up, and that just starts with that first blood on the Slasher. If Slasher even gets a trade there to make it a 3v3, that changes that round, but they hunt him down, they trade effectively.
I'm laughing because I was outside. It was a conversation with, I think it was Scump and Karma talking to each other. And they were talking about teams being easy to read in Search and Destroy. And he's like, do you think we ever do anything unpredictable? Like just hit stuff? And Karma's like, I just run at stuff sometimes. It's just funny because that round, they just hit it. Like we're hitting B and they flew.
Yeah, maybe Scump was just like, Damon, what are you doing? I'm going to just hit B. I'll follow you up. Hey, it works sometimes.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly how that conversation went.
Smoke's coming out of Temp. He's just watching that cross. A nice little wall bang, just trying to find any information towards that middle statue. But another A hit out of OpTic. Formal, the only player down here.
For last time, it was Slasher getting that pick towards top middle. But Hook is able to get inside. Just trying to push forward. He spotted Formal on the edge. Formal goes ahead and peeks it. They both get shots into each other, but ultimately Formal able to win it before being traded out. Crim6 wins one on the backside as well. So you've got a 3v2 advantage right now for OpTic. Make it a 2 versus 2 after Slasher finds a kill.
Both Scump and Crim6 were on the flank. Envy trying to spot them. Scump, though, he's going to peek that corner. He has Crim6 watching over him. Slasher knows where both players are. They both back down. They try to find one. They're able to find Scump. Crim6 now left in a 1v2 with that PPSH.
Yeah, if he had an STG up here, that could have gone very, very differently. But he couldn't really support that much, right? Like he couldn't lay down fire. Now he just tries to push in through it. He's able to win one. He's so tagged up. Tries to get to the window, but that's just a case of he's one bullet. Not a whole lot he could do.
No, yeah, that was... I'll say the key difference that I'm seeing out of OpTic, though, is they're much more reactive, right? Like, they see Envy is down low, and you can see Scump and Crim are already flanking that Envy base. They're already in barrel building, something much quicker, which we didn't see before.
That's true. We'll see if the change continues to pay off, because it certainly needs to with their recent placings. If you missed the game one, it was a 250, 200-ish victory for OpTic Gaming. Now a couple rounds into our Search and Destroy. OpTic back to offense. Last time, very fast hit from Karma and Scump. This time he goes soaring in. Slasher, though, ready and waiting.
Finds both of them, yeah. Finds both Scump and Karma.
And that's
maybe that's a bit predictable, though. You know,
let's try it
just
again.
Did that on the last round. Slasher, he brings a teammate over, makes the adjustment, finds that bar, has that 3-shot kill range.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect for that situation, right?
Definitely is, but Formal finds Hook, makes it a 2v2. There's nobody to trade this kill.
And you don't want Slasher to get kills here. I mean, he's got 4 in a row. Then Slasher just obliterates Formal, rips his head off the barrel there. Slasher had no cover really in that gunfight, still able to do it. Crim6 has to reload, not able. So what does he have to work with? He has a smoke in his gun.
Yeah, he almost finds Classic, but Classic able to back down. And then you saw Slasher trying to wallbang him, because I imagine he's very close to streaks. 30 seconds left. You can see how Classic's playing this one. He wants Slasher to get this kill.
If he can win this one gunfight, though, he can smoke off mid, get this bomb down, and make it interesting. He still has a smoke.
There we go, he spotted him.
Smoke him off, now you have to win the gunfight. He's only got 6 bullets in the clip, can't get away. Classic and Slasher do a good job there in the 2v1, just really making sure Crim doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, exactly that. I was a little nervous there. Classic was maybe just trying to overplay that so Slasher gets it, but he re-peeks it at the right time. He has the better position. Good adjustments out of Envy to win that, that defensive round.
And now they're up 3-1. We'll see if OpTic can answer back here in a round. That one, Slasher was just ready and waiting. Now let's see what offense we get out of Envy here.
Oh, he thought he had a smoke.
Yeah, I was about to say, it really looked like he was trying to throw a smoke for the crosshair.
So that changes things, right? Because that slows that down. Now the smoke's late, and maybe OpTic knows they're not going there.
And that allows, that's a big part of the reason Scump probably is able to get in that position.
Though, Slasher, no, your teammates are planning B, right? Like, there's no reason. Over challenges a little bit, just backs down there. That's a great position for Envy. I mean, that was for streaks as well.
Yep, it was. Scump gets another kill. Crim peeks one on the edge. Now it's Temp by himself. Trying to wallbang. He's hit him a lot, but not able to finish it. Clean sweep there from OpTic Gaming. I mean, what was the biggest issue there? Was it the late smoke that comes in? Was it Slasher drop? It was just well, I mean, that's what we talked about with Envy. Like, what's the problem? Maybe just little mistakes here and there, and you saw a couple through that round.
So what happens is Slasher's not able to maybe get in the position that he wants to because the smoke's not there. Scump finds him, And then Slasher, I think, just over-challenged. I think he could have backed down there.
And so you don't get streaks. You know, you get first blooded because of that. Like, a lot of things fall apart. And, you know, getting a 4-1 advantage there with streaks, what a different scenario is that than what we're looking at?
It's a lot different scenario. Plus, you have Scump working on streaks. He's at 450, so we'll see how much that changes things. OpTic, though, they go right back to B. You have one player on that bomb side. I believe that's Slasher. Slasher's able to find the first, but can Scump trade this out? I don't think Slasher's going to expect him to be there. No, he doesn't, so now 3v3.
And if you get this bomb plant, you're able to pick up some streaks here. So Scump definitely wants to get this down. I don't know if anyone has a smoke right now for the cross.
He's just going for it. I mean, he knows there's nobody back street. He has no pressure on him. So that's streaks for Scump.
You see Temp just trying to hunt around the back here.
Would love to see if Scump invests into this, right? Because London Docks is a map where if you have Mountain on, it's easy to avoid them. He may know that not a lot of the players on Envy have Mountain on. Who's able to find Formal? Scump, though, just gets away with his life. They know where he is, though. This is that perfect opportunity. Can we go to Scump's point of view?
He's got to call it in.
Yeah, he's got to call it in.
Does he get there in time? Does he get there in time? Does he get there in time?
It's not going to.
It's not going to get there. There's the defuse. The streak comes in, but it's too late. And that's another round to Envy. What do you think? Do you think like as soon as he got into fire, see the call a little bit earlier? Like, I like the play to call it. It's just poor timing.
And I think
you have to assume they hop it.
I think Hook, though, won 2 big one-on-ones on the flank. That's when it changed around. I don't think Scump, I mean, that's just a tough position right there.
Oh, it is. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, would you have maybe called it a little bit quicker, like knowing the circumstances?
Yep. Envy, though, they're going to hit back towards this A site. Crim6 is able to find Temp with that first blood. First blood's pretty back and forth. You have 4 towards Envy, and, well, just like that, it means absolutely nothing.
Quickly becomes a 2 versus 2. Hook and Slasher going up against Formal and Karma. You've got Karma at mid-map. He's going to be, well, actually, there may be a flank coming here. Are they going to be ready for this? Let's hop over to Slasher's POV. So he's in behind. Just gets a bullet into Formal before backing down.
He knows there's pressure, right? He knows there's someone going to try and find him. But basically, he knows there's nobody at B. Karma, though, might find good timing. No, Slasher just gets around that wall. So now you have Bomb down in a 2 versus 2. And I love Hook's play. Just goes right towards that underground. So tough to get out of that position.
And he's getting close to streaks as well. Formal and Karma is hunting, but so much time already off the clock. Already 20 seconds off this defuse. And they haven't really gotten to a good position yet. Spots Slasher. Slasher going to back down wisely. They're not even going to have a chance for this, I don't think. Just not enough time.
Yeah, Envy's not going to give them the gunfights. Slasher may peek this here in a couple of seconds. Is going to. Karma actually has a stretch. Yeah, Slasher had to push up. That could have got very bad. Formal not able to do it 1 second too late.
But you thought it might come down to time.
Yeah, definitely.
Half a second.
1 second.
Yeah.
But honestly, if Formal was watching over Karma, he might have been able to hold that defuse. Just one bad timing right there.
Yeah, if Slasher drops first, I mean, I don't think Hook's getting in there in time.
I don't think they thought he could stretch to that backside.
Wow, well, a crazy round results in a 5th round for Envy. 1 round away from tying this up at 1 apiece. You still have the fighter pilot on Scump. Hook did die at the end of that, so he's not going to be picking up any streaks. It's crazy. It's a 5-2 lead, and like the slang is not. Look at the slang right now. You have what?
I was just looking at that as well.
24 kills on the side of OpTic, and 20 kills I think on the side of Envy before that came in. So you wouldn't expect it to be this lopsided of a lead for Envy, considering that.
And well, that was a very fast round. OpTic continuing to hit that B street. Slasher was set up, but Scump was able to find that one. He has, what, 11 or 12, having a great game, too. Karma able to find Hook. Hook tried making a play on the bomb planter. As the bomb was going down, he tries pushing through that smoke and finding a good timing. But here we go now, 5-3. Scump still has a fighter pilot. And Envy, they've been going towards this A site over and over again.
All right, let's see what the play call is and see if maybe this is where that streak does come in. Envy, though, hitting it quick. The smoke comes out the correct time this time, so Hook able to get in. He gets tagged by a bullet, hit a bit by a nade there, but still able to get in safely.
As I say, Scump was down low. He's got to be careful. You can see in his position, Hook, though, catches that nade.
Oh, my God, right in his chest. Formal.
There we go. They're going to call in the fighter pilot. Not going to be able to find anything. Classic's inside. So are the rest of the teammates. And look at that, number 4. Look at Slasher. Look at where he is right now. His teammates need to just wait for him. No, temp gets picked off. Now you have a 4v2. They know where Classic is. They're just hunting him.
Yeah, he is screwed.
He's screwed.
So screwed. Classic will drop. It's now going to be a 1v4 here. 4 Slasher. First one down. 40 seconds on the clock. Spotted Formal.
You think that's a play call? You think sort of those mind games where you have 3 players not run Mountain, send them towards that A site, and then you send Slasher on a late flake with Mountain? It is so selfish. But it could be a play call.
If it gets there in time and your teammates are alive.
I was just thinking about that.
It's certainly possible, but OpTic does crawl just a little bit closer. Was it 5-4 now?
Yeah.
No streaks left on either side. Not that EnVy ever earned any. No streaks.
Yeah, we'll see what they do on this B site. We'll see how aggressive Slasher plays it. Maybe they 3-stack it, give up the A bomb site, and try to take control of middle. Because OpTic, they've just been going B. Just time and time again, they've been taking the pressure to him. So it looks like Slasher will be the lone guy again, but he's going to play back. Just look at his position. They have backed him up time and time again.
Yeah, you see Scump plays a little bit differently this time. Kind of shoulder peeks it for
like,
a second instead of soaring in. But Slasher, he's ready and waiting for this aggression.
Bomb's going down.
Now EnVy going to have to play the retake. Slasher connects on nothing with his grenade. And look how far out someone like Formal has pushed. He's all
Formal may go for a late flank. He might have caught great timing.
This could be perfect.
Or it could be horrible.
Let's hop to Formal for a second. He should be in behind multiple. Yep, there's the kill for Formal. 2 players did push in, but they have the crosses.
The bomb, it got defused. No, it didn't. Oh, they got him the last second.
How close was it?
No, he
did get it. Through all that, you see a pop up. I thought they dropped him right before it as well. They're able to stick it.
Do they know they won? They don't look happy.
You still had, what, 3 or 4 up? How many players were still alive on OpTic? I think 4 was still up.
Okay, there's Temp with a little smile. But they didn't even look like they won. Nobody knows what's happening. Yes, EnVy won that game.
I thought he dropped right before it as well. Unbelievable stuff.
The round kept going, right?
Yeah. Kept counting. I was like, oh, I killed him. But not quite able to do it. Is this the final?
No, this is
the hard. Oh, God. I saw Docs. I was like, is this
14, maybe.
Well, that's why I looked at the screen, just the middle of it. I was like, oh, we're back to Docs. I looked up top. I was like, that's not an S&D scoreline.
You played a 6.
Unreal. Well, as it stands, EnVy able to answer back with an unbelievable finish there in the search and destroy. We'll tie this series up at 1-1. Guys, after this quick break, we'll be right back with CTF.
massive. All right, welcome back to CWL Birmingham, presented by PS4. We're going to a very quick break between these maps as they go down. Right now, 1-1, all tied up.
Yeah, it's been crazy. You just had a ninja to close that game out. Even Joe and I was so, I don't want to say I was checked out of that final round, but once Formal got the kill and the other kill happened on site, I was like, all right, we're going to round 11. And then next thing you know, Joe's like, he's on the bomb. And
No, I was like, you won. I was like, I think you won. And I was like, I don't even know if they won. They won.
That was crazy.
You
That was
just
fun.
waiting for the scorecard.
No, I literally was waiting to see players' reactions to the scorecard because we were both like, I don't know if he died at the last second or. That was wild.
Yeah, there were hitmarkers going off as well because there was a gunfight going down. She's like, he could have died. Miles, you weren't here at the beginning, but you're here now. What have you seen so far?
I've seen like vintage Formal. Like at the first hard point, all I could hear was just like I was running across the arena to get here, and you just like Formal.
Well, I think it was
right.
even. It's been more. I think Crim's been like the more impressive part. Like as good as Formal looks like back in the ROL, which who would be shocked? I heard when Crim wanted to switch, I thought it was an issue of Crim not really wanting to run a sub in this game, but he looked spectacular, at least in that first hard point.
No, it definitely has. Again, it's all been about the pressure that he can put on with Scump, and you even saw it in that search and destroy. He's just making so many reactive plays for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think this is going to be a great series continuing on. And we said, how do you benchmark these two teams going into this? And right now, both teams giving good showings.
Certainly, yeah. I'm not going to know who the better team is until this series is over. And will that necessarily define it? Probably won't know that until the weekend's over. But right now, these guys, I mean, I want someone to know, JP, our stats guy, if you're out there watching, let me know how many lead change happened in the game one. Because I might have exaggerated with 10, but there were a ton. It was changing multiple times like every hard point. It was wild.
Joe,
yes,
you had to put these two teams against each other like later on in the tournament. Given that this is day one and the way like how hot both teams look right now, and like for me, Envy and Clint, I'm with you with like the performance they had in Atlanta. I thought that was their tournament. I thought they were going to win it there. Do you think they could do this here, Joe?
Do I think they can win it?
Yeah.
Envy?
Yeah.
Well, the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks.
I don't know, man. I just don't think so.
I think they could win any tournament just because they have so much skill. Do I think they will win this tournament? No, I don't. But could they? Yeah, they're on a short list of people that I think could. I mean, I guess that'd be my answer.
It's got a lot tighter this year, I've noticed. It's like, before you were talking like there was tiers.
There's
like,
Rise
about your
and 7 teams is how I view it. Like, there's Rise and then 7 other
Go
teams.
look at stage 1 playoff bracket and tell me who's going to win. I can tell you. I have no idea.
It's only your job to, so we can't see how that one goes down.
I picked FaZe. I just know.
You just know.
Priesta is a 4'5" COD beast.
He's 4'5".
I don't think he's 4'5".
No, he's like 5'4".
Okay. I think that would legally be very short.
That would legally be very short. I mean, that's insight from you. Miles, do you got anything to add to that?
About a man being legally too short?
No. About who you think's going to win?
I'm stoked about the way this series is playing out so far, and the CTF is going to be buck wild, crazy, and I've no idea where to place either of these teams at this point. But I'm stoked, Bryce. Excited to be here.
I think we're all excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here.
I think you're more excited than I am right now.
Spending time with you is one of the highlights of my events. I'm not even kidding.
That's very sweet of you to say.
You missed that, but there was definite touching between those two going on there. All right, let's kind of just get this instinct going on now. We've seen these two play one map apiece. Does this give you any clue to who you think's coming out on top?
No, because I think the big issue for OpTic was Search and Destroy. They lose their Search and Destroy. Envy, yes, they lose game 1, but OpTic's a great hardpoint team. But you know Envy has the talent to win a respawn. So if they can win 1 or 2 of those respawns, I mean, they're in a fine position.
And Envy won plenty of series at the last event after losing map 1. I mean, they handed Red 1 reverse sweep. They almost handed them a second. Like, they can come back down, and they're proving it here. They have the capability to do it. But I don't know. What was the next hardpoint? Valkyrie, right? That's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a crazy battle too.
I think Envy wins that one.
I think they could.
That's the respawn you think they're going to take?
Yep.
Okay. So we're thinking game 5 is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I just want all the game 5s.
I love me some game 5s, but no, I think this definitely could go the distance.
The thing I'm most interested about this one is like OpTic's S&D thus far has been it's been the kind of make or break for them in the tournament. I'm interested to see if they can keep the run going because like up against that was what 6-4 that matchup. I joined it quite late, but still. I'm hoping to see a little bit more of S&D magic out of the boys from OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, me too. And I think going into this capture the flag here, I think if it's OpTic Gaming, they're in a really strong position because even with Team EnVyUs and Valkyrie, it could genuinely go either way as it gets shut down. But I don't know. It does seem to be kind of summing up to be another E Classico all the way to map 5 here. Here's a kind of a slight different one here. Where do you rank these teams in terms of the whole kind of spectrum of teams?
Oh, they're in that top 8 bubble we talked about.
Top 8 bubble?
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't know where to call it past that. I'm not even kidding.
Well, they're not Rise, so they're in the bubble.
Yeah.
I think honestly my top 3 right now would be like Rise, FaZe, and LG. And then I think these guys are pretty close to that, but we'll see how OpTic does.
All right, well, we're ready to get back into this one. Capture the flag, OpTic versus Envy. Take it away.
Here we go. Thank you, Bryce. The swing game, the game 3. And I'll tell you what, there's one thing that, one of the most impressive things I heard from Division A, it was a listen-in with OpTic Gaming during this particular map. It was special. Like, their comms are incredible here. They don't make very many mistakes. Envy's got to be, I feel like Envy has to be nearly perfect here to pull out a W.
No, they definitely do. But again, they have a ton of playmakers. You have a great AR and Slasher Classic. He's able to find 2. They just don't make mistakes. Even when you heard OpTic, they lost that game towards Evil Geniuses, that game 3 last time. You know, 2-1, they felt it was just due to counter caps. So we'll see what happens in this, because they felt like, you know, we ran the flags the wrong way. We allowed EG to get that counter, and that lost them the game.
It really did. Who is going to strike first in this one? A couple players there pushing through field. It's Crim6 and Karma that are both able to pick up a couple of kills. So they're starting to bring this pressure forward. That's a nice kill from Temp at range with the BPSH.
I was going to say, that's a huge kill. I was going to say, because, I mean, Karma was in the spawn. He was about to pull a flag. Slash, they were able to find him. If Karma has a little bit of a help there, you know, from Formal, they know where that last guy is. Maybe he hits that flag pull. Temp, he's going to be taken down by Scump. Pretty back and forth. You can see a couple of players of Enemy trying to push through Ruins. And well, Scump, and I believe that's Crim6, they're just going to fly to the enemy base.
They do spawn 1 out Bell, so they have the ability to apply some pressure here. It's going to be all on what I believe that's, it's hard to read that number, Temp, that's set up in the back. You have 1 pushing through Ruins on the other side here for Envy. They win the gunfight on the other side as well. So Scump's got to make a choice here. Either wrap back and try to help or make a play. He is able to pick up 1, but they actually clear it home as well. So nothing really comes of it on either side.
That's what I was going to say. Formal wins a big 1-on-1 versus Classic. If Classic wins that, he gets a flag pull out for Envy. So, you know, a bit of a big threat for both teams just happened, but they shut them both down. Envy, now they're starting to push up towards that middle of the map.
And we know this map, like it's I don't want to say it's easy, but you can make, it's easier than some to make plays on defense just due to the deep spawn. So
it's tedious.
It's going to come down to who makes a mistake first, I feel like. Or I guess who makes kind of that hero play. Well, 5 kills in a row right now for Formal. Another thing that could turn the tide would be some streaks getting picked up. You want to get some help his way, and here comes the help. 2 more players now pushing to reinforce this. Maybe just try and bait and allow him to get streaks here. He's holding the edge. Hook just made such a play inside to make sure both those players get shut down. This entire time, there he goes. Finally, Formal's been able to find him. He was holding that window forever to try and get the streaks. Now he's able to get him. Karma runs out, just tries to be the bait there and pick Temp off the barrel. But even though that push gets slowed down, at least, you know, for the most part,
yeah, they get those streaks on Formal. Yep, you'll obviously see those both on attack and defense. A flag pull does come in, but Slasher shuts it down. So back and forth. Once again, though, OpTic are doing a pretty solid job of putting the pressure on Envy. Envy really haven't been able to get much control of the map. Formal 8-2, as you said. He has full streaks. We'll see how he uses those. But OpTic in a very solid position. Let's see, Hook. He's setting up towards the middle of this map. He has help at cabin. A couple of OpTic players are pushing up towards those ruined sides. Some trades going on. So we'll see Hook's starting to push up. Slasher starting to hit that ice elbow. Able to find 1, just backs on down though. He has pressure through Ruins.
They're starting to try and make the play forward. OpTic defense has to try and hold here. Classic pushing in. There's trying to get the angle here. He gets it for a second, but Karma's still here to deal with. He has PPSH and Tip to help him as well. The 2-man hit coming in. Last man that's there is going to be Formal. He's got an AR, so he's in a position to make a play. Can he hold the push? They're starting to come in. Classic is so tagged, he doesn't want to be the entry man, and now you have somebody spawn up. And on the other end, well, Scump, if he would have won a 1-on-1 on Slasher, this could have got very, very scary. But Karma and company continue to hold. Envy just taking a little bit too long to make the play here.
Yeah, and Crim6 is pushed up middle. Now he's going to flank these guys coming back from the base. Temp has to run it at this player. That's Formal in the back, able to win 1. Has another 1-on-1 with Crim6. Nice shots onto him, but he's all alone. And he is going to have a couple of OpTic players come off a spawn to try and return this flag. And on the other side, you have Scump putting pressure on the Envy base. So Temp pretty much screwed right there.
Yeah, there was not a lot he could do.
Nope, now you have Formal investing in those streaks. They're going to try and get a counter push. But a couple of kills go Envy's way.
what do you think the reason for the streak use was there?
I think they had a player pushed up towards bunker, but Hook won a big
Oh,
one.
so he died like at the same
Yep.
time. Okay, so I was going to say, by the time the kill came in, there was nobody really in a position to make the play.
For the most part, this has been a solid defensive hold for Envy. We always talk about the sides. Yes, there is a little bit of an advantage, the one that OpTic's on. But if you are OpTic, at least you have that fighter pilot. You know how dangerous that can be when you attack that bridge.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it's interesting because the one push where you really could have maybe been able to make a play, Formal was playing for those streaks. And like if Formal wasn't playing for those streaks and maybe was a little bit more aggressive with the push, maybe it works out. But at the same time, you need to get those streaks. So those are tough spots sometimes where you want to play safe like that. Just make sure you find the kills.
Definitely.
Because with the two people hitting through bunker, if he got a little bit more aggressive up that street, that could turn into a score. But at the same time, yeah, you also want to make sure you get the two streaks to work with and hopefully get a score at the same time. That was the only really effective, well, somewhat effective push we saw from OpTic. And then the other end,
Envy had one, but they were just a little bit too slow. OpTic, they had a couple of opportunities, but it felt like Slasher kept picking up big one-on-ones towards that bunker. So we'll see now. As we go into this second half 0-0 score. And you talked about that OpTic Gaming listening. You know, that you heard just a few weeks ago. I said we go to an Astro Gaming listening with OpTic Gaming.
I can pull.
Dead.
I'm pull. Oh, ice. He backed all the way up. He's back yellow. Back yellow. Hold him in. Hold him in. Hold him in.
One's mid pit on me.
Kill the guy pit.
You want fire tank. Fire alley.
Watching ice.
Is he still there?
Yeah. He might have flanked all the way.
I don't see him. I don't see
Might be in bunker
kill
then.
Alley.
Might
Yeah,
be in
could
bunker.
be.
Looking.
Holding on our flag.
Anyone in my fourth? Ice.
I don't see
Classic
Donnie
one shot.
bunker.
He might be flanking. Hold flank.
Yeah,
Hold
he
flank.
He is.
Being
Oh, he got
engaged.
me. Kill me off spawn. I think he pushed. He
Yeah,
tried
he's
going to the back.
Stiller. Got him.
Nice.
Okay,
I stunned it.
Ice, one's
I'll
ice.
pick up your cabin cut. I have your
cabin wall, cabin cut.
cabin wall.
Two in cabin,
You
two in
did,
cabin,
you
guys.
did.
Last two cabin. Last two cabin. Yeah, hit it.
One has mountain.
I got
one has
naded.
mountain. All good.
He might be
Hold that,
first. He
hold
might
that,
be
hold
first.
that.
Okay. Didn't stun anyone crossing.
Second name I'm coming.
First.
Window
Nice. Good job.
Classic,
I'm rocking
classic
stuns.
probably first. Classic probably first.
Okay.
Classic is probably first. Aim I'm here.
Walking fire. Oh, he's fire cut. Nick, he went fire tank.
Fire tank. I'm
I'm
getting a
holding
bunker.
broken, guys. Holding broken.
Watch out, fire tank.
Weak.
Watch out, in fire cut. Watch out, fire cut. Watch out, fire cut.
One on Seth.
Watch out, fire cut, Matt. In fire cut. He's probably full. Nice.
Yo, I got
Nice.
both. I got
Nice.
both.
Go,
okay.
go.
I
Off
can
spawn.
streak for you, Seth. Go,
Off
go, go.
spawn,
Get out, get out,
Seth.
get out.
Run broken, run broken.
Get outside, get outside.
One just spawn.
Nice.
One
Nice.
just
I
spawn.
got streaks too.
Streaking now.
There's nothing cabin. They spawn behind him. Spawn behind him.
On flag, on flag.
One broken.
Is anyone close?
Any
No, I don't,
cabin
they
map?
all had mountain. They all had mountain, bro. One
Okay, I have your back. I have his back. I have your back.
I'm looking bridge. I'm looking bridge.
I got first guy.
Nice. One
I
could
think
be,
we're
one could
good
be
at
on you. Nick.
flag.
Am I good?
Looking bridge.
Coming
One's
back,
in broken.
Seth,
One's
make
in.
sure.
Yeah, you should be good.
Nice.
One's
job,
in
Seth.
broken. He's going you. He's going you.
Watch
Going
me
you.
outside, I'm watching
Donnie.
you
It's
outside.
Donnie.
I'm
Donnie.
looking first cross.
Shit.
One
Yep,
belt.
one was you. Middle. Dead. One more in you.
Other one?
You, I need help. I need help.
Come behind
Okay.
him. Hold
One shot. I'm one shot.
First.
Yeah, you.
Nice.
First dead.
You.
I can stun you. I can stun you.
Donnie's in you. Donnie's in you.
I'm stunning. I'm stunning it.
I'm in
And
you.
what's-
Don't
oh,
stun.
shit.
Army
Yeah,
dead.
pushing the
Let's
cabin
go,
wall.
let's go,
I'm
let's
going
go.
to
Nice.
cabin wall.
Close to you.
Dead.
Nice.
Push.
Nice.
I can
I'm
streak. I'm
gonna-
gonna streak. I'm
Alright, go
streaking.
ahead.
Cabin wall. Cabin wall.
Okay.
I'm getting plat.
I'll walk up first.
I'm watching mid. I'm watching mid. Just keep holding.
You're gonna be in
I
broken
don't
probably.
see any on their flag. Just shooting back right.
Back right.
Probably under bridge. They're probably under bridge.
Back right broken right now.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
Back right broken one.
Streaking again. They're
Waiting,
gonna go
okay,
on the bridge.
In broken. They're in
Okay.
Bomb under the bridge. Bomb under the bridge.
One's cart. One's broken. I killed cart.
What's back yellow? Back yellow. I just got naded. Back yellow.
Got him broken.
Back yellow. Back yellow.
One shot on.
On flag.
Back yellow.
Back yellow.
Back yellow. Last guy.
Back yellow.
Hit him. Damon. Hit him.
Gone,
Damon.
gone,
One
gone.
shot. He's still there.
Nice.
Drop.
They're gonna start capping. They're gonna start capping. If we have any streaks, drop it from bunker right now. Drop it from bunker.
Artillery from bunker.
Yeah, do it. I'm watching flag. I'm staring at flag. That could be mid map.
First, got one.
Could be mid-map.
Artillery front.
On flag.
You heard the comms. They got another flag out trying to tack it on. Excellent stuff here from OpTic Gaming. They have their artillery on the backside, so you can't really go anywhere with the flag. There's one player remaining. They're looking to clear it out. He's trapped inside a bunker like a rat. Scump trying to chase him right now, looking for the angle in the window. There's the kill. Just need the return, and this is going to be the edge. Scump went on an
Wait, no, he's gonna
absolute
get that
tear.
return. He's gonna get the return. Oh, he does just get it in. I was gonna say there was a stun that comes in. Slasher's able to find two. Some more streaks from Karma. As you said, though, a beautiful listening as always
And
with
Scump
OpTic.
went like a, 7 or 8 streak throughout that. Just the streak started to pick up. You heard the comms on point. They started to dominate.
Well, they definitely did. And as soon as you heard that second flag go out, you heard Crim say, call a streak from bunker. Call it from bunker. Cut them off. They're trying to play a little defense now as Envy puts the pressure on. And it seems like they're going to hold them off, invest into another one. With 90 seconds left, you have to say it's pretty tough for Envy to get back in this.
It is. At least you're pushing towards this side where maybe you can make some sort of hero play. Well, maybe that's it. A 2-piece here from Slasher might open things up. Flag is going to be out. There's one in Fire Alley he's got to deal with. It's going to be Scump. Scump drops, but the grenade, enough to at least clean him up. Now it's kind of a race. Formal's trying to get in the back.
What a stun, though. He has to have Mountain on.
Hook's trying to come in and help. Does Hook get there in time to win the one-on-one? He's already being pre-fired, and the fighter pilot comes in. The return here is likely the dagger, and the final, probably, big moment of this game.
Yeah, but there is still one player. Hook knows he's there. There we go. Scump finds another two. 20 and 14, Formal 20 and 7. That's sort of the slaying duo that we're used to when, I mean, Formal's in that main AR position.
And maybe okay. I know Krim doesn't have the best game at 8 and 18, but you heard some of the call-outs, some of the comms he was having. The vocal leadership throughout this, absolutely crucial in getting a victory here in Game 3. And now you've got another flag out here for the OpTic Gaming side. Might want to put a third one in here. It's going to be on Karma and Scump at home to try and pick up the kills mid-map and also on Bunker, and it looks like they're doing just that.
Yeah, they definitely are. This should be 3-0 to
one
OpTic Gaming. There is one player through, but he should be cleaned up right here. Slasher put some shots in onto Karma. Nice shots there, but that's 3 flag. And OpTic Gaming, they're able to pick up game number 3.
Not shocked. Not shocked. And this is one where you thought OpTic would have the edge. We know they're a solid CTF team, especially on a map like Arden Forest. Like, we've seen them succumb to the chaos of London Dock sometimes and lose maps to teams maybe they shouldn't. But typically in Arden Forest, the one thing I know about the pro players and the reason they love to play this team, in their opinion, 99% of the time, the better team wins on Arden Forest. Because if you play mistake-free Call of Duty, you play it the correct way, there aren't many fluky things that happen on a map like Arden Forest. Like maybe the occasional spawn out when you don't expect it or a safe spawn when you don't expect it, but for the most part, the better team wins. And on CTF, maybe not the better team in general, but the better team in CTF wins, and you saw it there. OpTic, they were precise, man.
Yeah, they definitely were. Obviously, the slaying going their way. Formal playing a very slow AR role, right? Very comfortable in that position, just getting kills. And, I mean, when streaks were, you know, brought into Call of Duty, right? Competitive Call of Duty, one of the big things was in Black Ops 2 was you just had a slow AR, and streaks were so important. Just get those, right? Those can change the game. I remember, like, guys like Clayster on Complexity, Parasite on Impact. They would just play for those streaks, just try to earn the team their tide.
It's funny, I was talking to Formal, I think, after Atlanta when they were going to be making the switch back. And obviously he wants to play AR. He's been, yes, if you talk over the past 3 years, probably the best. Not at every moment, but overall, you could say he's been the best AR over those 3 years. And what did he say? Oh, we were talking about something. I was like, oh, Slasher's been dominating this and that. I was like, yeah, it was probably the best day of his career when I stopped running an AR. Or he made a comment like that. He's like, Slasher's probably thrilled when I stopped running an AR because he doesn't have to go up against me. And you can kind of see it. I mean, he is one of the more feared ARs in the game, and he's bringing that. And when you see Karma starting to click in this flex roll, Seth is starting to be more consistent, I think, with the sub. Not that he's been poor, but he's a little bit more up and down than you're used to.
Well, he has more help, it feels like. Right?
Yeah,
the pacing.
true. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what we talk about. Yes, Krim has maybe a slow game, but it doesn't matter because when Scump's putting up those numbers, that's all that's needed. They play great together. But as you said, Formal, I remember last year, like in IW, Formal was always like, yeah, I just want to play eights against Octane as much as possible because Octane was the only guy he felt that could challenge him in that AR role.
No, it's not an easy role, but it is certainly fun to watch some of the elites, and you have 2, if not the 2 best ARs in the game. And I know he's just getting it back in his hands, but Slasher versus Formal is a matchup you're going to see a lot this year, I think.
Yeah, you definitely are. And I believe game number 4 will be Valkyrie Hardpoint. For me, this is one I feel I have the advantage towards Envy. Yes, this is one OpTic plays a lot. But if one of the guys on OpTic have a slow game, we talk about the talent of EnVyUs, they can all go off. And that's one where you can definitely snowball the map.
You really can. I wonder if that's going to be, you know, we talk about mistakes that punish Envy, and you talk about snowballing. Like, one mistake for spawns can punish you for like 2 hard points in a row, right? So will they make those mistakes? I mean, thankfully, when you're a team like Envy, usually you have we've seen them make a mistake and still have the talent to break through. Like, they'll be in this weird 2v4 to bust into a hard point, and somehow they still pull it off because they have very good submachine gun players. But against OpTic, you don't usually get away with mistakes like that. We're going to have to see what they can survive. I don't believe those are correct. We're going to Valkyrie next. Funny story while we're waiting, though. Gibraltar. Right. I heard Formal say outside, he's like, man, we decided we're not playing Gibraltar. I don't feel like seeing that map or something like that. And Seth goes, well, I was flying over here. I saw Gibraltar on the airplane map. I didn't know it was a real place. And I was like, oh, dear God.
That sounds like something Seth would say.
We went to the same high school. They definitely taught us that. They definitely taught us
So
that.
you and Seth went to the same high school?
A decade apart, 10 years apart.
That explains a ton of things.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Like, I get it now.
We're two intelligent guys.
Definitely.
Great at what?
That's
great,
the way I was.
Great
going
at
with
what
it.
we do. Elite commentator, elite SMG. I'm average, but he's great. Stop looking at me
he's
with
a
those
king and you're the
beautiful
president.
brown eyes, dude. Here we go. Map 4. OpTic looking to close it out here after the 3-0 victory in CTF. Kicking things off with Scump, who just had a bunch of highlight plays throughout that to secure the victory. He's flying into vents, and he's finding a couple of kills. You like seeing that for this OpTic gaming team when it's Formal and Scump on the kill feed.
Yeah, just look at him go. He just pushes right on through towards that operations bunker. Only able to find one more, but you can tell the pressure that he wants to put on this Team EnVyUs team. Just trying to get pushed out, allow his team to get as many points as possible. Classic, though, he's able to find 2. Sort of break that start for OpTic.
You know, we talked obviously a lot about OpTic during that break and kind of the role change and different stuff they're going through. But I want to talk a little bit about the developing story throughout the year for Envy. You know, let's go to Hook and watch him for a little bit. Like, you know, we know with Hook, obviously, you know, he comes back to Call of Duty this year. He turns 18. He's competing in the CWL. We know he is one of the most talented people to ever touch a controller. Has he gotten close to reaching his ceiling yet? Have you started to see that skill come back to what you expect?
I think you see glimpses of it every now and then. I think when he was, you know, in AW, I think obviously the movement helps him a ton because that is what he was known for, was just that beautiful advanced movement. He had a ton of second place finishes, was never really able to get over the hump and beat OpTic Gaming. But I'm excited. I think you do see glimpses of it. I don't know if he's hit his ceiling yet.
Well, the closer he gets to it, you got to think the better this team is going to get. But right now, it is going to be an OpTic Gaming advantage. Over to Karma, who already has some streaks to work with. There's 2 kills to clean up. 3rd in front, littering him with bullets, but running out of ammo there, and ultimately will end up dropping.
And I think the tough thing, too, though, for Hook as well, is they didn't have the best start to the year, and I think that sort of drained his confidence a little bit. It was sort of like, oh, it's my fault. Like,
Well, and I don't view Slasher as a confidence-building leader.
I don't think so. We've
He's
heard a lot of those
He's hard on the
conversations.
guys. He's hard on the guys for sure, which it'll kind of break you or build you by breaking you down in a way.
Yeah, but I think once they see some more success, that's when you'll see the real Hook. So we'll see, though. OpTic off to a great lead right now as we head over towards Storage Bunker. They're able to lock down operations. And Envy, they don't have control of this yet. Slasher able to find Karma. But, I mean, OpTic have more members over here.
They've got several set up inside. Slasher trying to get around the back. That's 2 kills now going the way of Envy. The collapse is coming in. It's going to be on Crim6. I don't believe that grenade goes where it wants to, so he has to back away for a moment. The backing away may actually work out nicely there as he's able to pick up a kill. Now challenge inside. Nice shots again from Crim6 as he picks him off the barrel. And now right back into the hard point. Envy struggling to find any kind of points here. Only 22 on the board right now. We're halfway through Storage Bunker.
Yeah, and you saw sort of what OpTic did there. Able to get around the back towards Office. That forced the reaction out of Classic to have to get out of the hill. And that started the collapse from OpTic Gaming. Just 12 seconds left on Storage. We're going to head over towards that Office. There's one Envy player here, but that's just Hook. He gets traded out, and this is bad news for Team EnVyUs because these are the 2 hills we talk about. Can really spread that lead wide open. That snowball, this is where it starts.
They at least crack through the front for a moment, but there's still a player from OpTic Gaming inside trying to clear. I think it's Formal that's trying to deal with any kind of pressure coming in. He's going to have bar out, pistol out, able to win that one against Hook. Pistol on pistol. He's getting close to streaks as well. Classic comes around the edge, catches the bayonet to the throat, and now Formal close to picking up these streaks. And Envy, do they realize it's hardpoint? They haven't been able to get close for the most part, man. They've just been dominated.
Yeah, I mean, Formal, you thought he just bought so much time. Slasher was set up in the front, but Envy, though, they're here to respond. This would be a big 25 seconds for them. Formal still the last one left. Finally gets cleaned up. So Team EnVyUs, they should be able to get these 20 seconds. Karma's going to put a little pressure on him. He has some streaks. A great game for him at 12-7. He's had a solid series so far.
He has, and he needs to be. You know, we talked about the pressure on him in that flex roll now. He can't have, you know, those double negative maps. I mean, they may happen from time to time, but he has to be consistent if he's going to be in that flex roll, and he absolutely has been in this series. But now let's take a look at the next rotation. We're going to head over to Smokestacks. No streaks from Envy to try and break through. Just a couple in the back pocket of Formal here. Look how pushed up Scump is. He's at mid-map. Let's see how many seconds go by before they're actually able to take a crack at this hard point.
Yeah, they're not even close. The other guys are by storage bunkers. You know, Karma able to find 2. Crim6 spots Hook. Able to win that one. Has help from Formal. One player does get in through middle. Almost gets taken down by Crim with that hip fire. Temp, though, there's the trades.
This is the first time Formal tried to shoot at someone. It was 25 seconds into the hard point.
This will allow Envy to push up a little bit, but the cuts are already mid-map in OpTic Gaming. They're about to have a 100-point lead. This is a great start for them on Valkyrie.
And this is, you know, this is where you get worried about Envy. We talked about it before the match. Like, they aren't always the best at rotating first and getting set up. And do they get away with it behind their raw talent? Sometimes, yes, but when OpTic's playing like this, they're just going to punish them over and over again.
Yeah, and I think you heard Phil say it in pregame analysis. When they don't slay, they're typically out of the game. They have to keep up in the slaying to be part of it. You have, you know, Temp, who's 9-16, make it 10, but everybody pretty much negative on the side of Envy besides Slasher.
And OpTic, the exact opposite. Double positive for Karma. What a game from him. Krim, kind of the leader and the hero of that game one. He's still having a nice game here, 15 and 14. Ton of engagements to his name. He's going to find another one there. Second inside the doorway, just snaps on the classic. The kill feed, all green. 2 for Formal, 2 for Krim. The guys that swap roles, and you got to love that.
Yeah, you definitely do. A great showing from both of these guys. As we said, they made that adjustment. Envy, though, they're able to find 2. We'll see if they're able to break on here. Hoot tries to throw a nade in. Classic, though, able to trade. Back and forth, though. Karma, the last player left. Can he find this kill? Not able to.
You still got more reinforcements here from OpTic. They just had like one more man every single time, and it goes their way yet again. The trades have just, it seems like it's always been to them. And is that a pacing thing? Is the role change help that much with him just making sure they're there for trade after trade
look
after
at where
trade?
Krim is. Like, he's always pushed out, or it's Scump. It's definitely that pacing thing, but I also just think as soon as OpTic's able to find 2, that starts that rotation that allows them to win those trades.
Has there been, there probably has been one. I know we've been talking quite a lot, and I may have missed it, but has there been one like real early setup from Envy?
Were they first operations bunker?
Okay, so it's been a while.
It's been a very long
Well,
time.
I mean, you look at the scoreline, you can kind of tell, but they've just been outslayed, outplayed, out-rotated, out-everything over the course of this game. And
yeah, and when I've seen Envy play at their best, this is one of their better maps, but they're just being shut down. That's why I gave them the advantage. A great showing here from OpTic Gaming.
And this might be that benchmark we were looking for. How much will this OpTic Gaming team improve? Maybe you're seeing it right now.
But just get all 4 of them. That's what you want. You weren't having that earlier. You weren't having that earlier in the year. Someone was always struggling.
And I know we're not talking about Envy a whole lot, guys, but sorry, look at the scoreline right now. It is 225 to 67. The only storyline here is maybe you're finally starting to see the potential of this OpTic Gaming team erupt with a slaughter of the boys in blue.
And again, it's that, and maybe it's just finally like OpTic, they are losing. They are not the best in the world, and they want to try and prove that point. Again, Atlanta, you felt like it was their time, but they go 0-6 on that Sunday. Weren't able to really produce, so maybe it happens here.
Wow. Yeah, it's just, you see the way they're playing, you don't think this is a team that looks like they're going to go 0-6 in map count on a Sunday. But they haven't closed it out yet. Still need 23 more points to go here before they can get it done. But the end seems inevitable right now. Envy has to go back to the drawing board. OpTic Gaming, a lot of success to talk about in this particular series.
Yeah, and they'll have one game later on today against Reckless, so you know they beat EG, they beat Envy.
And wait, didn't Era beat OpTic at the last event at Atlanta in pools? I might have just entirely made that up. I tend to do that.
That's fine. We'll listen.
I feel like I remember that series, but or maybe it was the event prior. I'm thinking of the stage, the division. That's where they beat them. Okay. And there was a lot of trash talk.
Oh, that was a reverse sweep.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was. See my memory. It's all jumbled together, Joe. Mm-hmm. We've casted a lot of Call of Duty this year, and all the matches, just toss them in a blender and shake them up. But during this time that we've been chatting, there haven't been any more points on the board for OpTic. And now Envy, I know they have a long, long way to go, but I think OpTic showed you the first time through rotations that you can kind of play perfect hardboard, completely dominate, not allow a lot of time to go in. So maybe Envy capable of doing the same here. It'd be one of the more absurd comebacks I've ever seen.
We'll see, though. I'm pretty sure on the OpTic side, you have 4 or 5 streaks still in the back pocket. As we go over to Smokestash, you imagine that's where OpTic puts it away. But Ook, he's on a 5 spree, starting to heat up. He has some streaks. Those will be very important for that next hill, and it seems like the gunfights are starting to go Envy's way. Just might be a little bit too late.
How many times have we seen this from Envy, though, where they start a little bit slow in a hard point, then they pick it up all of a sudden? Sometimes they dramatically make the comeback. Usually they're not down 140, though, when they have to do it. But suddenly, what was a massive lead now down to what? Just under 90.
Yeah, there's that first glide bomb, though. A couple of kills go the way of OpTic Gaming. Fighter pilot is called in. Karma, though, doesn't get take down. So he'll be able to earn a couple of points. Another fighter pilot. Make it 2 more fighter pilots from OpTic Gaming. They're just calling in the entire Air Force, and that should be game number 4.
2 more ticks. It is contested for just a moment. Karma's been inside this entire time, but a team nade does come in. 1 more tick. They can't get it. They're going to invest a streak here. 1 more player to clear out. That should be it. The series to OpTic Gaming, a 3-1 victory. Wow, it was back and forth early, but it closed in commanding fashion there from OpTic.
All right.